And we spoke a little bit. What is your name? The consumer, yeah.
Luigi.
Luigi, we are in agreement with Luigi. Luigi mentioned it, and it's afterwards. Luigi, I have some insiders. It's not part of the convention, Luigi. It's a friend that.
By the way, there is regarding the Hague apostille in Brazil, it's valid. I can tell you that when we incorporated in Brazil, I had to notarize and have the apostille also valid in Brazil. So if you want to be incorporating what is called here receita, so where you, among other things, you can also register the company. You will have all the deeds I had in Europe of my mother company, all with Hague apostille, so it's also recognized. So they're required when you want to incorporate
I thought it was no. But take care, because maybe you didn't do well with the apostille procedure. It's not the only way to certify. You can do it through the consulate.
No, it's
you see what I mean?
It's true. You have. If you want to work in Brazil, you have to go through your notary. You have to get the apostille. You have to go through the consulate.
Okay.
They will also put their seal, and then you can send in Brazil. But you have to follow these 3 steps.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe there is a twist. But this is the agreement we have with my friend. Thank you. But the step was here. You should have said this in this slide. You got answers. No, I'm kidding. I had to put energy. My friend said I don't have videos. Screaming emotion with the sport. Now I want to drop the EULA. I mentioned too much detail. I think it's not going to be interesting to you. And go more into the foreign law and court, and then we go into arbitration. As a general rule, parties are free to choose the court and the law that they want.
You have 15 minutes. You can make it? Okay.
Except in family matters, okay? In family matters, you cannot choose the jurisdiction. Okay? Then, always you can demand or you can file a suit on the domicile of the defendant. If regarded, imagine that you put Nebraska and the headquarters of this company is in Miami, you can choose as a plaintiff if you want to go to Nebraska or Miami. Okay, no one can decide, you cannot make a lawsuit in my jurisdiction. That's an important thing to take into consideration. Then, foreign law must be applied by local courts. It means if you have this difference between which court will apply and the local court or a different court, the court must apply foreign law. And the twist is that, and you want to say to me how a Chinese court know about the Argentine law. You have to prove to the Chinese court what Argentine law said. Translated to Chinese, of course. That would be a lot of money.
There we come in.
So that's a huge work for translator. I mean, if you're going to file a lawsuit in a different country, you have to file, and this for you, whenever you file, but that's an official translation, you have to put it in the court. There is an interesting issue that different countries has different way to notify the lawsuit. Like in Argentina, for instance, there is a guy called Oficial Notificador that goes to your house and notifies it. In the US, where I work, there is no official guy, and lawyers do it, but they are the trusted remote lawyers. So lawyers go to your house and notify you, say, oh, this is a lawsuit. What's going to happen, maybe you file a lawsuit in the US, but against myself, and they win the lawsuit, but they have to execute my apartment in Buenos Aires, you see what I mean? So you win the case in New York, but then the execution of this judgment has to be done in Argentina, because in New York you have nothing. So when you want to execute this judgment in Argentina, I can say, because you can sometimes say something, that will be null in Argentina, because you cannot notify of someone, the lawsuit, a lawyer. It should be an official officer. Well, you have to defend yourself. So this is a thing that I'm going to do to be clear that it's not everything that easy. So you have to be clear. Then there is certainty bond requirement. When you are a foreign visit for you that you're talking about Nebraska, is to make it a little bit more difficult to go to Nebraska. Imagine if you have to come to Argentina. You are from Europe, I don't know, from Germany.
Slovakia, but I live in California.
Well, imagine in Slovakia, you have to file a lawsuit in Argentina.
Okay.
Not only is it really difficult for you, but when you file the lawsuit, the court is going to say, look, you don't live in the country. You have no asset in the country. You have not even domicile in the country. So you have to file a surety bond. A surety bond is not good expression, it's money. So why don't you deposit, the judge is going to say to you, why don't you go to the Banco Ciudad, you mean the city that the courts work, open an account, deposit, there will be a percentage of the amount of your lawsuit, because if you lose the lawsuit, don't make me, Gaston, go to Slovakia to look for you. No, it's true. I mean, if you win the case, no problem, get the money back. But if you lose the case, what am I going to do? I have to go to Slovakia to look for your company. It doesn't sound fair. So that's another problem, and there is an exception for labor that I found it pretty unfair. Because I have a case against a client of mine, a guy from the US, made a lawsuit for $500,000, a huge lawsuit for labor, and was okay, but the guy lives in California. Certainly, we are not going to do that, it was $5 or and the court said, no, labor, what labor? $500 million. I mean, the guy then lose a case that can lose it, we have to chase the guy all over the US. So I suffer and I learned that not labor. So this is written with law, not labor.
So
we suffer.
Does the court require the surety bond to be posted?
Yeah, the amount is put by the court, but it's the code of procedure. The code of procedure is mandatory. Okay. So it's again all what I mentioned. I think you are getting the idea of why we end up doing arbitration for international. I mean, it's kind of put in a red like a lighting sign. It's a go to arbitration, not arbitration, because it's so difficult to litigate in another country that you end up going to litigation that is inevitable. And then execution and speed. I want to speed up because I have a question for the lady.
Mercosur mentioned is why.
Mercosur because you have exception, like if you are Brazilian and want to make a lawsuit in Argentina, there is an exception between Mercosur countries. You don't need to file
the surety bond.
You don't have to do it. And there are some kind of bilateral exceptions, like Argentina with Spain. If you are a Spanish citizen and file a lawsuit in Argentina, you don't need to file this surety bond. There are exceptions, but the rule is that you have to file the surety bond. How many minutes do I have, ladies?
You have only 10.
Honey, take your time. Don't take your time.
I mean, I don't
I
want
take my time.
Yes, you're taking your time. Now you have to
Finish your presentation.
It's like the marathon.
Yeah.
You're in the final.
I run for 4 hours and 47 minutes, not 10 minutes.
Well, so you're in the final.
Well, I went to arbitration first. As you mentioned, as you can see, I skipped a couple of slides.
So you got some presentation, and then if they have questions, you can answer them. Can I go to arbitration?
I can take a story. You don't come for 10 minutes to the story. When I started giving lectures, I used to send to my students the PowerPoint. And then I looked at the internet, or this was a course of debt restructuring, okay? Sometimes you look, to see if you find a new thing, whatever. So I found in the Consejo Profesional de Ciencias Económicas, like the accounting body, okay, we're not talking about anything. In the webpage of the accounting body of Buenos Aires, a presentation or a lecture called Restructuring Deficit. That's 100%. Not to copy, but to get ideas. It was my PowerPoint. 100%. The guy didn't even take the effort to change, the comma from here to there.
The name of the.
100%.